Hello and welcome to the incredibly influential and highly successful podcast. My name is Kael. I am incredibly influential.
And my name is Maxwell, and I am highly successful.
What what impression is that? What?
It is, it is, it is one of a highly successful person.
I I I'm trying to think of like who that sounds like. You just threw me off my game. I had a whole opening joke and everything and you just threw me off my game. Holy
There you
shit.
go. My new voice is the star of this week's episode.
All right. Okay. Anywho, let's get back on track. My joke. I had a really cool joke today. So, I'm on Tinder, right? I'm swiping, just seeing what's good. Now that everyone's back in school. Um,
Whoa, we got a pedo here.
Shut up, shut up. If they were in high school, they wouldn't leave town during the summer, okay?
They also probably wouldn't be on Tinder.
And also that. But yeah, I'm
But
swiping through
I'm
Tinder.
glad I'm glad you thought there first.
Yes,
Just about being in town.
yeah, but yeah. So now that everyone's back in town for school, I'm swiping through Tinder, right?
Right.
And I see that there is what is it? A single mom, right? There's a single mom uh on Tinder, right? And down in her bio she says fuck hookup culture, right? But then
Powerful words.
even further down in her bio, she's got her OnlyFans link. And I'm like, "Ma'am, either way, you're just chasing the sack." That's my joke. There you go. There we go.
Nice.
Great start for this week. Awesome. um
Double entendres.
yeah.
Some of my favorites.
Yeah, I'll double on you.
Oh,
I know. That was very sensual. That was very
yeah.
whoa.
Tried to
Ooh.
help out your lame efforts at flirting with me.
This is a very sexually charged episode and I'm here for it. I think it was that new voice. I think we should go back to that, honestly. Holy shit. Um but anywho, we're going to jump right into it. We're gonna talk about some things that happened since the last recording, including one very sad thing. I wanna
Oh
I wanna
no.
say a rest in peace to both Jimmy Buffett and Steve Hartwell of Smash Mouth. That
Yeah, this has been
yeah
a not kind week to musicians
yeah
or any fans of music.
yeah, and Jimmy Buffett, like high key, I'm not gonna pretend to be like a big like Smash Mouth fan. Everybody likes All Star. Everybody likes that one cover they did. I'm a Believer. Everybody likes that. Everybody remembers them from Shrek. But like Jimmy Buffett was my legit hero. Like straight up, half my wardrobe is based on him. Uh, I love like all his music. I yeah, I sing Margaritaville all the time. That's one of my favorite songs. Um, I saw him in person on a moped with a woman half his age. And I'm like, you know what? Damn, I want to be like that when I grow up. I want like that. That's honestly like high key. His business acumen mixed with his like creativity and shit is like the direction I wanted to go with this podcast. Right? Like I'm not like musically inclined, but like if I could turn this show into the kind of like empire that Jimmy Buffett sat on the throne of,
Right.
that would be the dream. That would be it. I yeah, he was legit inspiring to me, and I when I heard that, that was a fucking bummer. That was the worst shit, man. That was so bad. I was
Yeah.
so sad. And then at the same time, like hearing like he Steve Hartwell only had like days to live and then he passed away too. And that was so fucking sad, dude. Just like one after the other.
I
You
know.
know, especially Steve, cuz he was only like 56, I think.
I
You know,
know.
he had he
You know.
he really gone too soon. That's really sad. So my heart goes out to their families and the other fans. The world is definitely a lot worse without Jimmy Buffett.
Cause you,
There's
cause you know, cause what what was his name? Who was the latter person you mentioned?
Steve Hartwell.
Steve Hartwell. You know, when he told me the world was gonna roll me, that did affect me.
I mean, true,
I
true.
I was I was impacted by that.
Yeah. Well, everybody's gonna remember like everybody's gonna remember All Star forever. It's iconic. It's iconic, and he made a lasting impact on the world. And I think All Star is like an actually good song. I know some people only like it for the memes, but yeah, I like it. I think it's fun. I think it was a good song, and I think yeah, I think Smash Mouth. They were there. They were having fun, and yeah, um, and I'm glad they were, and I hope both Steve and Jimmy Buffett are partying somewhere in heaven now. But like, man, a world with no Jimmy Buffett, that stings, right?
Yeah, that's the rest of our world.
Cheeseburger in Paradise played on like I had my phone on shuffle, and that's the first time I heard that song, and it made me sad. And
Mm,
that sucks. That really sucks, man.
yeah, you gotta
Rest
be
in peace, Jimmy.
be
Rest in peace,
reminded that they're
Steve.
not around with us anymore. But you know,
Yeah,
they
I don't know, man. It sucks. It sucks, man. I'm that's hard. That's hard. I wanted to do
I
like
hope
I
everyone's
actually
stewing with us in this misery we have incited on all of you.
I'm not trying to be miserable and stuff about it, but he was like actually like an icon for me. Like unironically, I want to live my life like him, That he's the king. He I don't know. I think as a psych major, are you familiar with the hierarchy of needs? I guess I'll explain it for the audience. Um
Yes.
so it's like a pyramid shape thing, and it's got different levels, and on the lowest level is like basic biological needs. The level above that is like security. Number 3 is like sense of belonging. Number 4 is like esteem, like being respected in your field. And at the top of the pyramid, there's like self actualization, which is being the best that you could possibly be and like living up to your full potential. And I think the guy who came up with it, Abraham Maslow, he hypothesized that only 10% of people ever hit that. And I think Jimmy Buffett was one of those 10% of people. I think there wasn't much more he could have done to be more successful. I think he probably had like 10 more albums in him
Man's
before he died.
pretty legendary.
Yeah, I think if he lived to be 90, we would get 10 more fucking albums out of him because that man's work ethic is insane. But
Yeah, quite a guy. You know, he's like this legit surfer. He didn't just sing about it. He actually did it.
yeah,
I
well,
read that he saved Colin Jost's life too.
yeah, the man's a king. He's king, absolute king shit, all the time. You'd love to see it, and yeah, there is now a Jimmy Buffett shaped hole in the world that nothing can fix.
Right.
Yeah, because nobody ever really matched him. Like he made a musical genre that doesn't even have a name because nobody else made music like him. It was all just him. And man, 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 that sucks. That sucks. Yeah, that's so rough, man. That's so fucking rough. I'm sad. We need to get out of this. We need to get out of this.
Yeah. Well, what's
Okay.
your? You got to
I
plot an exit.
I have a hot take that I need to share.
Uh-oh. One of
So we're
Kael's hot takes.
yep. All right. So flashback to a couple months ago. Barbie comes out,
Ah, the
and
good old days.
yeah, and ever since then, it's been popping off, right? Correct? Correctamente? Correctamundo?
That's a fact.
Yeah. Um, people were saying some people who I respect even have been saying that the reason why it's successful is not because it's a toy movie, but because it is a movie marketed to and made by women. And I have a hot take about that. Uh, Greta Gerwig's last two movies, Lady Bird and Little Women, critical successes, yes. Oscar nominated, both of them, I believe. Um, but not not really commercial successes. Even though those were films marketed towards and made by women, I'm I'm pretty sure it is the fact that it is in fact a live action Barbie movie that it is making that much money. I'm gonna be honest with you. Do you agree with that assessment? Do you concur, Max? Oh geez, I think he's gone. Max, are you there? Hello? Okay, we fixed it. Maxwell, what are your takes on my little hot take there? What do you think?
Well, if it isn't the umph time I've said it, that I agree. I went in not because it was a movie about women, but because it was a movie about toys. Damn it. I'm
Exactly.
going to see the next movie about toys. And I'm going to
Yeah.
enjoy it because, I love toys.
Everybody loves toys.
Yes.
Fuck yeah.
I'm an adult that loves toys and will pay to watch a movie about toys. But you
Did
tell
you
me it's about women. Kidding. I'm kidding.
No kid, let him cook. Let him cook.
Let him
This
cook. Let her cook. Actually, don't quote me on that either.
Oh my god, it's like Burger King. Women belong in the kitchen. Fuck. Oh shit. Oh, that's how you know we're recording this late at night. It's like 9:30. We're not
Yeah.
used to
You didn't
recording this
you didn't
shit.
even announce the time.
Yeah, it is it so we're recording this on September 11th at 9 p.m. So we're all kinds of fucked up, man. This is not great, but we're recording this like less than 12 hours before it's supposed to come out. So it's not fantastic. Um
I'm feeling fantastic.
I mean, I I hate cutting it this close. We gotta. Whenever we get this close, I get a little stressed. But I'm stressed
I
about fucking everything, dude. Oh my god.
Yeah, me too. It's astounding how much I can let shit hit affect me.
Oh my god. School has been kicking my dick in. Oh my god. I um I had to do pre-calculus shit today. Oh, it was terrible.
Damn.
I had a 53 question review exam that was worth points. Uh, and it was due tomorrow, but the exam isn't on until Wednesday, right? So this is coming out on Tuesday. That's when it was due, but the exam's not for another day after that. And I don't know about you, but like when it's me, I want to do that review exam right before I take the test, right? In my
Hmm.
old math class that used the same system, we would take the test. We would go in, or like we could take the test on our own time, but we had to go to a testing center. But we still had like review exams. So I would take the review exam. I would literally have my keys on my belt loop while I was down there. I was dressed to go. I would take the test. I would run back upstairs, get in my car, drive to school, get in the testing center, and take it while it was still fresh in my mind. And I don't like that is how it's laid out. And Yeah. I don't want to be too critical because my name is attached to this show, but I just don't vibe with that sort of thing. And yeah, I just don't
So
think it's great.
so what would your perfect system be?
Have them be due on the same day.
The,
Or let me take the exam like 3 days in advance. What's the harm?
they should just give you less exams and more practice quizzes.
No, 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 no. But
That's
yeah.
my dream.
But I
I
know
would
I'm gonna bomb it. I know I'm gonna bomb it because the review thing is already happened.
Yeah, so my solution is to take as few quizzes as possible. So
Yeah.
that happens as infrequent as possible for me.
Yeah, I mean, I get that. I don't know. It's rough. It's not a great system for me specifically. And
Yeah.
then in my psychology class, again, I don't want to be super critical because again, my name is attached to this. So I'm not trying to burn any bridges here,
Uh-huh.
but the way my professor has the discussion posts laid out is not exactly cash money. Um, so the way it works is every test we have like a whole module of like assignments, and they're all due on the same day. And so like as we go through the notes in class, sorry, um, we're supposed to do them as we're going, but there's like freedom of choice to like just do them all at the very very end. Um,
Okay.
and some of those are discussion posts. And have you had to do any of those?
Yeah.
Yeah. How many replies do you normally have to do?
Here we go. Well, 0.
So you just have to make your post and you don't have to reply to anyone else's
That's
comments?
right.
Okay. At my old school, we used to have to do two. We used to have to do two responses, and I would almost always be one of the first people to get it done. I would almost always be one of the first people to get that post in there
Odd
and be ready
flex.
to. I just like getting shit done and out of the way. It makes me feel better. But I thought it was bad when I had two responses to do. We have to do five, and there's 4 discussion posts for every module. So it's a 250 word post and 5 responses. And
4 times over.
yes, so 20 total responses. 250 times 4, that's 1,000 total words just on the posts, plus 20 replies of 50 words. So that's 2,000 words total.
Wow. That's a
Yes,
lot of words.
it is. I feel like it's a little excessive. I feel like 2 or 3 would be much more reasonable, especially because again, when I go in there and I'm like one of the first people done, I do a couple of replies on the other like early risers, all those people who just like have all this free time to work on their homework and shit. I know a lot of people, they go in, they work. This is my job. Between this and streaming, this is my job.
Hmm.
So granted, I do have a little bit more free time than most people, but at the same time, it's a little excessive to like make us wait for 5 people to respond before we can, so that way we can do our posts there. And I think 2 or 3 would be reasonable. And I personally don't think discussion posts should even be a thing for an in-person class. I don't really appreciate that. I like a system where it's graded on like class participation. Um, but like, granted, it's not.
That's
Yeah,
that's fair. Have the discussion in class.
yeah, and like, yeah, I don't know. I feel like maybe that, or the first day, very first thing he had us do was he gave us a sheet of paper and we had to write down I forget what the exact thing was, but we had to write something down and then we gave it to him, and that's something, right?
Hmm.
Like that could work, I don't vibe with the current discussion post system. I think it's a little superfluous for an in-person class, and I think five replies is a bit much. It's literally 250 extra words. It's double. It is
Heard.
2,000 words.
It's too many words, man.
By the end of the semester, I think I will have written 10,000, maybe but somewhere between 8 and 10,000 words, because I think there's four modules, four discussions each, 200, yeah, 2,000 words for every module, four modules, somewhere between 8 and 10,000, conservatively. So
There
that's
you
not,
go.
yeah. And then we also have to do this thing called like 10-minute papers, and I really like those. They're like, so you boot up your little lockdown browser app, and you like go in, there, and he's got like a short answer prompt like from the test, right? And you have like 10 minutes to write a little response, and it's like 1 or 2 paragraphs. It's great. I like those. I think those are awesome. I think that's a good idea.
Maybe
I
someone hates those. They don't like having to do like fast talking or
mm,
fast writing, and they're like, "Ah, man, I hate this." But you know what I do love? Me some extensive discussion posts.
I mean, but it's not even that much. I get it done usually before the 5 minute mark. Sorry, my voice cracked. It's embarrassing.
Haha.
Uh,
I am embarrassed for you.
but yeah, that wasn't fun. That's just not great. Um, I just don't vibe with it. But yeah,
Understandable.
it's just stressful because it's really hard to find where all the different things are due, because there's not really a system for like, hey, here's your calendar, here's when everything is due. Because I've got 3 different systems, and one of them is like a carbon copy of Canvas. I don't know if you use Canvas, but um, it's
Hmm.
like a carbon copy of it, but worse. And I just,
Epic.
yeah, it's not great, and I think it's a little. It leaves a little to be desired, and I don't feel like I am. I feel like it is less conducive to productivity and overall like mental health, because I don't know what's due when, and I don't have a consistent place to check that. So I'm constantly like
Oh,
checking every website, and it makes me a little paranoid, and I don't like that feeling. So it's just
that's not good.
it's a little upsetting.
How
I'm
did
gonna be
that
honest.
how did that come to be?
I
Is there
mean,
is there nowhere you can check?
there is, but there's not like, again, they're all on like 3 different websites, right? I've got to do my lab and mastering from Pearson. I've got Cengage, what is it, MindTap, and I've got the website for my school, which is I think based on Canvas, but it's not like actually through Canvas. I don't think I could access it through Canvas.
Hmm.
And even if I did, they didn't run it like my old school did or like my high school did, and like actually had like, here's the announcements, here's all the due dates, go nuts, right? They didn't really do that, and they don't have all the announcements in one place. You have to go individually into all 5 of your classes and be like, okay, there you go. And sometimes they won't even use the announcements to tell you when something's due, and it's just fucking frustrating. I I'm gonna whip myself up into a
Wow.
tizzy.
That new school really treating you bad, huh?
It's not as good as it could be. It's not as good as it could be. I'm not saying I could do better.
You do better, man. Come on. It's the
I would do
system you're
better.
in.
I would absolutely do better. It wouldn't even be difficult, actually.
It wasn't even
It wouldn't even be difficult. It would
I,
take me like 2 minutes, and I would 1,000,000% improved. 1,000,000% improved. I'm not saying I'm better than everyone. but I am.
I didn't even.
Literally,
I didn't even.
please hire me.
It was,
I,
I don't think
yeah,
your previous statement didn't. It didn't even like sit for like 10 seconds.
yeah, but it's
It,
true. It's
it's
true.
it's just the way it is.
They didn't do a great job. And I feel like there should be some sort of method in place where all the teachers have to list all their assignments on Western Online. No matter if it's on one website or another, their calendars should have all the due dates for all the assignments for their whole class, for the whole semester. That's what I want. I think that should be a requirement, whether it's online or in person, because a lot of in person classes are making me do it anyway. You know, when we should be doing stuff in person.
God
Yeah,
damn.
yeah,
God damn.
it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous and it's annoying, and I won't sit for it. I won't stand for it. I won't sit for it. I won't even lay down for it.
He's
I'm
not
not.
doing. He's not doing anything for it.
You're goddamn right. I'm not playing ball with this. I'm not playing ball with this. It's not happening. It's not happening. I'm walking off the field. I'm
Revolution.
protesting. Yeah. It's not great. It's not fun.
Appall the education system. Down,
Yes.
down with the the fine establishment.
Indeed. I also wanted to bring up a point that I noticed.
Oh
Um
yes,
so I was on Yik Yak, as one does.
as a college student does.
Yes. Um and I noticed I think it was in the like relationships and dating tab, and someone was talking about the friend zone, and
Touchy
uh
subject.
yeah. I will have you know that I did indeed. They were asking how do you get out of the friend zone, and I did indeed use the Omni Man meme where he's like, "That's the neat part. You don't." Um, you know,
Perfect.
it's tough love, but you need to hear it. You know, don't. They're not gonna turn around on you.
You're doing these people a service.
I really am. Also, I had another point about that. I'm gonna circle back around to that later. Um, but like I I noticed that there was kind of like a double standard in there, right? Um, but so like we were talking about like uh somebody mentioned like uh just don't ghost her or him. I think the original poster was a dude, so I think that was like assumed. So the person, the one of the repliers was a girl, and she was like, just don't ghost her when she rejects you. Um, and somebody raised a very good point, which is that like some I don't know, like there's a bit of a double standard there where you know a lot of like this goes both ways between men and women, but like sometimes a friend will catch feelings, it happens, and they will talk to another they'll catch feelings for their friend, and their friend will
Right.
say I can't, we're just too close of friends, it would ruin the friendship, I just don't see you that way. And that's fine, right? Like, you know, that's perfectly valid. That's perfectly like justified and shit, right? But there is a double standard there, which is that if you do catch feelings for someone and
Mm-hmm.
like you want to end the friendship because you have these feelings for them and they don't reciprocate, it you come off as like the douchebag because then it's like well, were you just friends with me because you wanted to have sex? And it's like, no, I caught feelings later, but I can't like
I can't
be,
shake them.
yeah, I can't be in this like close proximity to you and have these feelings because they do ruin friendships. That point is totally legitimate. I understand that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, you've got to be willing to accept like, okay, I've come out and I've told you this and you've told me no, and I respect that, but I can't be in this proximity with you until I sort these feelings out. And sometimes you never will. Sometimes you just can't. And I think that should be okay. I think there is a very I think there is a difference there. I think there's a notable like line in the sand where you can be like, okay, this definitely was a um like a hey, like I was friends with you legitimately. I like platonically I did have these feelings for you, but I can't be friends with you anymore because I just have these um like because I have
These
these feelings.
feelings.
Yeah. And it just makes it too awkward or too painful, you know? And yeah, you know, it sucks. It sucks. What are you gonna do? Uh, and I just think that that's a bit of a double standard. Um, and I don't want to be one of them fucking Andrew
Oh,
Tate motherfuckers, but I think the double standard is usually because, or like it's there because usually the person who catches feelings is the dude, and the person who has to turn them down is the of the female variety, you know?
damn. I'm
And
really putting these people in their boxes.
sometimes, you know, there's a double standard about like rejection and like boundaries and shit when it comes to like guys. Like some like a lot of times guys can like they'll have like boundaries and shit and it's less of a social like fuck up. It's seen as less bad to like disrespect a man's boundaries than it is to disrespect a woman's at times.
Hmm.
And I think that that is sort of where that came from, you know. And yeah, you know, it's just it's just a thing, you know. We're not equal yet. My dog's trying to steal the bath mat out of the bathroom. Get out of there. You know, we're not equal yet. There's double standards on both sides, and we should work to close that. So
In
yeah,
conclusion, in
I'm getting
final
off.
thoughts.
Yeah, I'm getting off my soapbox now. But speaking of what did you say earlier? I said I was going to circle back around to it. Oh, I'm doing it as a service. Okay, so I had an idea for a service, right? Um,
Yes.
which is like I come in to your house and like I seduce your
This is
wife.
how it starts.
Like I come into your house and I seduce your wife and like, you know, I'm in there. I'm in them guts, you know. And like now you know, right? Like because I've seduced your wife, you know that she's not like trustworthy or anything, you know? And um and now you know, right? Like the relationship wasn't working, you know, because like I was able to seduce her. So really, I think that that's a pretty valuable service. And instead of doing it for free, I think I'm going to start charging people to do that now. I
You,
think I'm going to start
what do you,
charging for that.
what do you think you're doing? Going after people's wives?
Um, I'm helping them find love. You know, I'm helping them achieve a more satisfying relationship, and sometimes that is not with the person they're married to because I seduced their wife
It's
and
with
banged
you
them.
because you
Yes.
did that.
No, 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 no. I'm not doing it because I want to seduce the wives. I'm doing it to help the husbands. You know, I you know I say I should start charging it for it, but really what I all the payment I need is knowing that that husband, you know, I did a good thing for him by banging his wife. You know, I think that's a good thing that I did, and I can go to bed soundly knowing that I helped him. You know, I helped him because hey maybe because now he can feel free to find another wife out there who won't be seduced so easily. And there you go. Isn't that happiness?
I think I think you've given me a bit to think about,
And I
and
think we can all think about that during the ad break, which we do need to go to.
I'll be
So
protecting my women's from you.
So stay tuned. But we're going to the ad break. But yeah, think about it. If you want to pay for that kind of service, let me know. I got you. This episode is sponsored by Liquid IV, the #1 powdered hydration brand in America. We've been partnering with them all summer, and I've been using it to beat the heat through some of these particularly nasty heat waves. While it was scorching hot outside, I was staying cool and refreshed with Liquid IV and their 12 delicious flavors.
One stick of liquid IV in 16 ounces of water hydrates you twice as fast and far more efficiently than water alone, and it also contains 5 essential vitamins and 3 times the electrolytes of leading sports drinks, without any GMOs, gluten, dairy, or soy. Liquid IV is also committed to equitable access to clean water worldwide, partnering with leading organizations to fund and foster innovative solutions with communities that protect both their water and their futures, and donating 39 million servings in 50 plus countries around the world.
Real people, real flavor, real hydrating. Get 20% off when you go to liquidiv.com and use code IIHS all one word, at checkout. That's 20% off anything you order when you shop Better Hydration today using promo code IIHS again, all one word, at liquidiv.com. Thank you again to Liquid IV for partnering with us. This episode has been generously sponsored by skunknuggetparenting.com, run by my own talented mother. Parenting is hard. Sometimes kids and parents are like night and day. It can be very hard to get on the same page with them, and a lot of parents have anxiety that maybe they're doing it all wrong. Luckily, there is a service out there that can help. Skunk Nugget Parenting Solutions is a company that provides parent coaching services, resource referrals, and psychological profiling, along with 24/7 phone and text access in an all virtual program. Plus, the first consultation is free. In order to get this amazing service, please visit skunknuggetparenting.com. That is skunknuggetparenting.com. Thank you to Skunk Nugget Parenting Solutions for sponsoring this episode. Thank you all for listening. And now, back to the podcast. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Thank you for sticking with us.
Thank you.
Ahsoka, episode 4. We're jumping into it. We're going in.
All right. You really want to talk about this episode?
Damn right. We got a bombshell here. We got a couple of bombshells here. Numero uno. Hu Yang is actually kind of pretty good at boxing. That's cool.
That's our first revelation.
Also, he has 4 arms and he can General Grievous that shit. And I want to see him do that by the end of the show. Number 3.
Number 3, we're skipping 2.
No, number 2 is that he can General Grievous that shit.
It's a 2-parter.
Number 3.
Who is Marok?
Hera is a bad mom bringing her fucking 8-year-old or 10-year-old-ish 9? I think around 9. 9-year-old-ish.
She's a bad rebel. She should have just listened to the people who told her to do nothing.
No, she shouldn't have brought her fucking kid to a war zone, is what I'm saying. That's my point, is she shouldn't have brought her fucking kid to a war zone. Why didn't she call up Zeb? That's revelation number 4, still no Zeb. Even though he's friends with Carson Teva, who was there. And also Sam Witwer was that Rhodian. So sorry to anyone who thought Marok was Starkiller. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, sorry to anyone who thought Marok was anybody.
I still think we have some time to figure that out.
He's dead.
He appears to be dead.
He appears to be dead.
But 5th revelation, he was empowered in some way by Morgan Elsbeth's Night Sister magics. So when he got struck down by Ahsoka, he released a cloud of Night Sister fart gas. And if you'll remember, Savage Opress also released a cloud of Night Sister fart gas, but he didn't die as fast as Marok did. but that came from being empowered by the Night Sisters. So I'm thinking that Marok,
They supercharge you with farts.
they really do. I think Marok was empowered in some way similar to how Savage Opress was, and I think that's where, yeah, that sort of thing. Some people are saying he might have been a zombie.
And
I'm
then
not so sure about that.
and then we can put all the theories to bed, right? No more theories.
I
That's
would
it.
like to. I would like to for Ahsoka to like go back through the forest to get back to the ship to go with Hu Yang to go to the new galaxy. Um and yeah, and like while she's going back, she runs into Marok, who's still alive, and she takes the mask off, and guess what? It's Barris. It's Barris.
Why?
The mask.
But why?
The mask. You want to know some bullshit about Barris, by the way? I was talking about this, right? Um,
This character we haven't seen in like 6 years.
8 years, 2015, 8 years. Um, but hang on 1 second.
Oh. Oh, why did you do that? Why did you do that to all our ears?
What?
That like were
Ah!
you regurgitating something?
Oh, I'm dying. I'll fix it in post. I'll fix it in post. Don't worry about it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit! I think that
Apologies.
means I'm recording from the wrong mic anyway. Oops. Oops.
Yeah.
Hang on, let me fix that real quick. Okay, I fixed it. We're on the other mic now. Much better. Thank goodness. But anywho, yeah, Barris. Um, I did notice something with Barris, right? That I wanted to point out.
Uh-huh.
There are only 2 Padawan ranked Jedi who survived the arena in Attack of the Clones.
Really?
Only 2 of them. Barris Offee and Anakin Skywalker. But Anakin Skywalker got raised to the rank of Jedi Knight afterwards.
Right.
Barris didn't. In spite of the fact that, by everyone's admission, she's actually like a banger Jedi. You
She's
know,
a banger. She's a real banger,
she's a
guys.
she's a she's a good fucking Jedi. Is the
She's
point?
she's yeah.
She's when we first see her in Clone Wars and she actually gets like lines and stuff, like she's incredibly competent. Like she memorizes the maps and she's ready to go. She's
We
prim
got
and
her
proper.
we got ourselves a reader. We got
Yeah,
ourselves a map reader.
she's a fucking nerd. Basically, she's a fucking square. But but however,
Yes.
she is still she's still a good fucking Jedi. She's highly competent, and I think that uh, uh I think she should have been raised to Jedi Knight, and I feel like if she was, she probably wouldn't have done the whole bombing thing. I think she was probably salty about that because Anakin Skywalker is a fucking renegade rogue motherfucker who commits war crimes every other week and nobody bats a goddamn eye. So, but here she is following all the rules and nobody makes her a Jedi Knight.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think she's just bitter about that. So I think maybe if they had just raised her to Jedi Knight, she wouldn't have been such an asshole.
Yeah, we could have said the same thing about Anakin.
Well, shut up. Don't worry about it.
Just
Don't
think
worry
about
about it.
that. Let's just think about that for a second.
It's called appeasement, and it has never failed.
I think I see a pattern here.
It has never failed in history. Don't try and fact check that because I'm right. Don't worry about it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't know. I think it would have been interesting to see if like what happened with Barris. That would be cool. But speaking of people we haven't seen in a while, is Anakin. He's back. They're in the
He
world between worlds.
he is back.
And Dave Filoni says that the world between worlds isn't time travel. And I don't believe him, but I'm going to take his word for it
Yeah,
for now.
gotta 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 stew in it.
Yeah.
Gotta think about it, what he said.
It
Like,
sounds really weird to hear Hayden Christensen say snips, right? Like, remember when Ashley Eckstein met Hayden Christensen and Ewan McGregor for the first time,
right.
and she called him Snip, or and she called him Sky Guy, and it was really cringe.
Yeah.
Like, come on, can we all admit that that was really cringe?
It was
And I'm
very
sure,
funny. It was very funny they used it in the 2007 movie and never again. They proceeded to never use that nickname again.
yes, but again,
But they
can we
used it
admit that that
now,
moment was cringe? Can we admit that that moment was cringe?
I guess.
Like it just didn't feel right. I know Hayden Christensen was up there like, ooh, that's cringe. That's not great. That's not fantastic.
That's cringe, mate. That's what he's telling him.
That's a little bit cringe. It's a little bit cringe. Um, yeah, fuck it, man. Ah, yeah, that was cringe. And so it was really weird to hear him say snips again. Really odd. Really, really odd. But, it's cool to see him again. The de-aging was good. I I've noticed that nobody's ever going to be happy about anything ever because
Yeah.
they didn't de-age him in Obi-Wan Kenobi.
No, you're right. No, people are never happy about anything ever.
That's true.
And we should all accept that and move on with
Yes.
our lives.
Unironically, if more like showrunners did that and stuck to their guns, yes, 100%. We'd get some ballsier shit, Do you think Ryan Johnson cared what people thought when he made The Last Jedi? No. No. He made
No.
his own shit and he was ballsy. You can like it or you can dislike it, but you gotta admit that he was like, you know what? I'm gonna make this shit my own. I'm gonna swing for the fucking fences. Right?
Yeah, and he played with all our
Expectations.
yeah, he played with that and with Star Wars.
And he fucking did it.
He did
He
it.
did it in fucking Glass Onion too. And that was awesome. And I would argue that if they doubled down on Ryan Johnson, cuz like Colin Trevorrow was going to write the script for the 9th episode. And it was very fan servicey and it wasn't great. And also he's a Poe Ray shipper, which is just awful. Um just the worst possible ship that you could have in Star Wars. I'm not even like a shipper, but like that's just bad. They would not make a good couple. Um so I'm glad that they got rid of his script. But instead of bringing back J.J. Abrams, I think he could have salvaged it. I think if he had we'd gotten 2 years to breathe, from 2017. I think I think if Ryan Johnson got to do the last movie, we would get a really interesting and thoughtful and not as cliche final entry in the saga, and I think it would have been very interesting. I do not dislike any of the prequels. Or sorry, sequels. I do dislike the prequels. All three of them. Bad movies. But I think we I think it would have been interesting to see where Ryan Johnson went with it. If they ever do end up doing Star Wars What If, I would love to see Ryan Johnson's take on the sequels. I think that would be really interesting.
Yeah.
And I hope he gets his trilogy. Honestly, I hope he gets his trilogy. Um, I think it would be really, really cool if Ryan Johnson and Tony Gilroy got to work together on a movie. Wouldn't that be sweet? Wouldn't that be sick?
It would be
Right?
cool.
Like I feel like those two have like some of the freshest ideas in terms of like Star Wars. You know, I think they're really like examining it from new angles. And I really appreciate that. And I think Ryan Johnson's been doing that with film like his whole career. You know, Looper, both of the Knives Out movies. Uh,
Oh, he made Looper?
yeah,
That's cool.
yeah. You know, I think he's been re-examining film in a way that I think is very interesting, and I liked his take on Star Wars, and I would like to see more. And so I hope that his trilogy does get to happen. I forget who they're getting to do Rey's sequel movie, like her sequel to the sequels. Um, but I'm here for it too. Uh, Especially if John Boyega's down. I've heard, so I think that's gonna be really interesting. I feel like we're getting off track. We need to talk about Ahsoka some more. Um,
Yeah.
Anakin's back. Balin and Shin won. They've kidnapped Sabine and they've gone to the new galaxy.
Yeah, I like this. I like the way it ended. It feels very much like, um, I don't know, Empire Strikes Back. The heroes
Darkest
don't
Hour,
win.
yeah, yeah, and that's very thematically appropriate for where we're at in the movie, right? Because this is a 6 episode series, so we got the first 2 episodes are going to be like your A New Hope. Dog, what are you doing? What are you doing? He's weird. Um, the first 2 episodes are like A New Hope, and these last 2 episodes are like, dog, what are you doing?
Mhm.
Get your toy. These 2 episodes are like Empire Strikes Back. You know, we're darker. We're not winning. You know, we are. This is not cash money. We are in the dark times. Um, and hopefully the last 2 episodes we're gonna be getting maybe not quite a happy ending. Honestly, I kind of want to see what this sets up for um Dave's movie. You know, wrapping up the Mandalorian. Not it's not its own universe, obviously, but like the Mandalorian and all those other live action shows. I wanna see how that wraps up. Um, yeah, I think it'd be cool to see. Um, I really want to see what Thrawn's doing. I'm very excited to see him next episode because I want to know what he's been up to. I want
Right?
to know what Ezra's been up to. What have they been doing? Have they been exploring each other's bodies? Maybe.
Maybe they have.
Who can really say? You know? I think when you're just two guys being dudes out there in a brand new galaxy, lot could happen. A lot could happen. And I'm here for it. If that's what we get, then that's what we
If
get.
that's what we get, we gotta accept it.
Okay, I want to pose a hypothetical question to you, and I want your genuine answer. Okay,
Okay.
so a lot of people online have been shipping um Shinhati and Sabine. A lot of people, a disturbing amount of people,
Hmm.
have been shipping those two, right? Which do you think would be worse? Shin and Sabine or Sabine and Ezra? Which would be worse?
Uh, Sabine and Ezra. That sounds weird. I don't know. Like, I kind of I get what like the beginning of the show was like with their dynamic, but like that'd be kind of weird now. It'd really be like a Luke and Leia thing, even if they're not related. They don't really. act like romantic interests. They're really just siblings. Let's be
Yeah,
real here.
kind of. Yeah. Um, but also Shin and Sabine. That would be really weird. Um, but also speaking of that scene where Sabine loses, um, uh, we got to we figured out her whole family died in the purge, and that's why she's been so depressed. It's not just that Ezra died or is gone, um, but also Tristan's dead, her dad's dead, her mom's dead, fucking everyone died. And I think we haven't really heard about this from her, but I think maybe if Sabine actually showed up in the Mandalorian, like before this, I think they could have examined like the role that she played in it, because Bo-Katan always, she was insecure about the whole fact that she didn't win the Darksaber through combat. So she wasn't able to like lead the Mandalorians, and uh and it like led to their downfall. And I want to see what Sabine feels about that, and I feel like that was kind of a missed opportunity. But I like what they're doing with her now, so it's fine. I
Right.
would like to see what she feels about that, but it's not really the time or place.
It's
Um,
kind of hard to fit all that in, but
However,
yes.
if she's in Mandalorian season 4, like if she becomes the new like Bo-Katan of Mandalorian season 4, um, or vice versa, if she becomes the new season 3 Din Djarin of the Mandalorian, where like she just hangs out with him and he's like the main character again. I think that would be really really interesting to like get her perspective. Um, yeah, especially because what's really weird is her and Din are about the same age. Like they're actually about the same age, which is kind of weird to think about, right?
That is kind of weird to think about.
Because Pedro Pascal aged way harder than Natasha Liu-Bordizzo, because
I think
I
he's just actually older in real
he
life.
is. There's a reason why they cast him to play Joel, who is like 50 years old. Yeah, yeah. There's a reason. Um, but yeah, I think it's really interesting that they're the same age. Um, that would actually be a romance. No, that would not be a romance arc I would want to see, because even though they are the same age, the actors really aren't. So, kind of weird. But also, it would be really weird for Bo-Katan to be in a romance arc with Din, right? Like either way, that's creepy. And the
Right.
one that's less creepy, the age gap that's less creepy, is more creepy because of the actors they used. So basically, there's no way that we can get a good romance arc with Din Djarin, so we should all just give up and go home and cry.
Let him just like have his baby son.
But what about the Mando MILF? You gotta have a Mando MILF, man. It's rules. Them's the rules.
Them's the rules.
But yeah. No Zeb, which is really, really weird. I think they just ran out of budget. I
Well,
think that's what it is.
I don't know. They kind of just he doesn't really fit the story.
Yeah, but why not, right? You know? It's Rebels season 5. Although I will admit, this has much more consistent tone than Rebels. Holy shit. It is such an improvement tonally to Rebels.
This show,
Yes.
I agree.
Rebels, that was my biggest issue with Rebels, Keep the ugly art style, keep the bad choreography, keep the bad cinematography, all of that. But like keep a consistent tone and I'm there. I get it. Rebels could not do that. But this actually is keeping that dark, um, more mature tone, and I really appreciate it. You know, it's yeah. If they can nail Ezra, like if Ezra comes back and he's like fine, like he's good, like they like actually well written, I will consider Dave Filoni a genius, and I will take back every negative thing I've ever said about him. Every single one, 100%.
Wow.
Yeah,
Well, you're putting a lot on the line then.
I am. I am, but it's worth it. You know, he did Atla. He did Atla. Avatar:
You,
The Last Airbender. It's a masterpiece.
but you never finished Rebels.
I watched most of it. I watched. There were some parts of the. I've watched a majority of it. Over 50%. I can tell you that for a fact. Um, you know, the episode where they save uh Commander Sato's kid on the YT-2400. I've seen that one. I'm just gonna go through all the ones that I've
Those are
seen.
like all the most like uninteresting episodes you've watched. Why?
I saw the one where Ahsoka showed up. I saw the one where Ahsoka showed up. I saw the one where Ahsoka showed up. I saw the one with Darth Vader.
Okay.
I saw the other one with Darth Vader. Um, I saw the one where they introduced Clancy Brown. I think my first experience with it was the first episode I watched was what's his name? When they had to go save the Rhodian dude who had the Lobot implant. That was the first one I saw. But man, yeah, no, God, that was a rough show to get through. Those first seasons were really bad, but like I would argue the first seasons were slightly more consistent. Like they were kiddie show and they were not great, but they were consistent about it, you know? I would argue the later seasons still try to keep up some of that comedy, some of that like slapstick, but then also they got way more serious and way more dark. Like when Clone Wars got dark, they stayed mostly dark throughout the whole um arc, right? They had dark arcs, you know? And then they had lighter arcs. But like the most uh clowned on uh arc that they ever did on Clone Wars
Yes.
was the D Squad arc, if
But
you'll
that's
recall.
George's favorite.
Of course it's George's favorite, because George is fucking insane. There is no understanding that weird little man.
I think he really makes Star Wars though.
He does, but he's really weird. And he puts in really weird things.
I mean, yeah, we can all hate it, but we can't deny what it is. Like no
Yes,
matter how many new theatrical releases, um,
all the special editions, the Han Solo CG neck move. Yeah. Yeah, he's weird. He's weird and he makes bad choices sometimes. But when he's right, he's right, you know?
it's undeniably Star Wars
The
every
only
time.
problem, the only problem is he doesn't have other people to be like, "Okay, George, this is a bad idea. We're going with this." Uh I think the best place you can keep George is in a story by credit, you know? That is the best place for him to be. He's not the best director in the series. That's Richard Marquand. If we're talking about the original six before he sold it, he's not the best director in the series. That's Dick Marquand. Um, and you can fucking fight me on that, and I will win. Irving Kershner made RoboCop 2. Enough said. Enough said.
Nice.
Um, but like, yeah, Richard Marquand, best director. Uh, for screenwriter, Lawrence Kasdan did a really good job. Um, he's done a lot of stuff for George Lucas. Um, the stuff for Empire Strikes Back wasn't entirely George. Um, I think the less involved he is in the actual making of the movie, the more the more like buffers there are in between him and the final product, the better. He's got like really good ideas, but when it comes to screenwriting and directing, he's just not the best at it. Um, you know, like that original movie was only saved by John Williams and Marsha Lucas, but goddamn,
Yeah.
did they save it? Holy shit!
I mean,
No
I
wonder
like.
she won an Oscar for the editing. Holy
I
shit!
did she? George's wife,
Uh,
ex-wife.
the movie won it. I haven't watched the 1978 Oscars, but I know she. I don't know if she's credited, but she did the final edit, and she like yeah. If she didn't, if she wasn't on stage accepting it, she should have been, because holy fucking shit, she saved the movie. That final battle is a masterclass in editing. It is incredible. And I don't think George would have been able to make it that good, you know? Like compare the final battle from that movie to the final battle in The Phantom Menace, right? Not as good,
Right.
right? Exactly. Um yeah, I don't know.
Wow.
I
Just rest the case like that.
But anywho, the worst Clone Wars arc is D Squad, and D Squad has a really inconsistent tone because it's jokey and droids and silly goose.
You could say it's whack.
Yes, it
It's
is a
a
little bit whack.
it's a lot of whack.
It's very whack, I
It's
would say.
so much whack. In fact, most of that arc is whack.
Indeed, indeed. Um, but when when like Gregor shows up, he's been a fucking slave this whole time. Uh, and he like sacrifices himself, and of course they undo his sacrifice and assassinate his character later
Yeah,
on in Rebels.
they like lobotomized him. I don't
I
really know
know
how to feel about that.
he's so bad in Rebels. He's so bad. And then they kill him off too.
And
It
then
sucks.
they kill him. He,
It's so sad. It's so fucked up what they
spoil
did to my man Gregor.
spoilers for anyone who has not watched this show.
Oh, Star Wars Rebels ended like 5 years ago. It's whatever.
I know.
Fuck off.
Yeah,
Yeah. Ah, that's so fucked up what they did to my man. Free Gregor. Free Gregor. My man didn't die for this.
right.
For real. That was fucked up. But like yeah, it doesn't fit like the tone and shit, right? Like and
Hmm.
then in the episode after that, they're still like jokey and shit like that. But then they do like a fake out death for R2, and he like sacrifices himself to save the fucking
They did
conference
do
from a
that.
suicide bombing.
They did do that. Let's not forget. We should not forget. I think we get mad at like episode 9 for doing so many fake out deaths, but we kind of like we really let a lot of other ones just slide and
Yeah,
not say anything about them. So
yeah.
we're kind of
Well,
hypocrites.
to be fair, to be fair, when they killed off Chewbacca in Legends,
It was
that
real.
was that was fucked up. That was a bad move. That was a bad decision. Shut up, dog.
Yeah, it kind of made Han Solo like not interesting anymore.
Yeah, that was fucked up. And also he blames his son for it. And that's just character assassination of Han and shit, right? Like come on.
Right.
Yeah. That that was bad. So I'm glad they didn't kill Chewie,
Hmm.
you know. Yeah. Would you have liked it better if we knew that Chewie didn't die and it was just that Rey thought she killed him, or
That might have been fine instead of tricking the audience.
Yeah, I don't know. Would you have preferred it if 3PO had stayed gone? No memories. Like they actually
It's just gonna.
killed, quote unquote. Would you have preferred that?
I mean, I don't know how much that would affect. I mean, I guess I'd be kind of sad. It's just weird because it's like a reused plot point,
Yeah, I
but
don't know.
it's like played to more greater effect
Yeah, I feel like if they had just done one of them, it would have been a lot better. Um,
instead of fitting both in the same movie.
yeah, I don't know,
It
but
was a
I
it was a bit much having both in the movie.
yeah. But speaking of fake out deaths,
Fake out deaths. Oh,
we're getting there. We're almost to the end of the show.
I think Marak is dead.
Marak might be all the way dead, but
He doesn't seem too good.
um who do you think is gonna survive this? What are you thinking here?
Sabine.
Sabine's gonna live? Okay.
I think Morgan's gonna die.
Morgan's dead, okay.
I think Balin is gonna die.
I think Balin's gonna die. Shin?
Maybe not.
I think Balin is the more redeemable of the two. So if they're going for a redemption arc, I don't she does not seem redeemable.
Hmm.
Also, uh I want you to see the difference between uh how they are treating Shin and how they treated Riva. Uh
Yep.
no notice how they're like how the fan base is treating Shin versus how they're treating Riva.
Yeah.
That's something, isn't it?
That's pretty telling.
Yeah. Someone literally called Riva a Mary Sue on Twitter. Someone literally called her a Mary Sue on
People
Twitter.
just like throw words out like they mean
They
anything.
do. They do.
They
It's
really.
so fucking stupid. It's so dumb. But all right, my theory. All right, what about Ahsoka? Do you think Ahsoka's dead? Yes or no?
No.
Okay. I think Ahsoka lives but dies in the movie. Morgan dies. I think Thrawn will have Morgan killed. Um,
Interesting.
I think she'll be like, Thrawn, baby, it's me. I'm here to groupie over you. I'm here to get that blue dick. And then he's like, fuck off, thought, and he shoots her. He's like, I got that Ezra bussy now. And Ezra's
Right.
like, I love you, baby. And
Right.
and that's his blue sugar daddy.
That's like the real fan fiction. That's what everyone's been missing.
Yeah.
Everyone's obsessing over Shin and Sabine.
Shin
They
Bean?
don't they
Shin
don't
Bean?
also they got all those Purgil, tentacle monsters. Like the
Ew!
possibilities
Ew!
are endless.
Ew! Ew!
Yeah, all those tentacles around
Ew!
Thrawn.
Ew! That's disgusting. Fuck you. You can't say that, man. That's gross. That's gross. Ew. I need to take a cold shower now. Fuck, man.
But I did like the Purgil.
Yeah. All right. All
Live
right.
action Purgil, man.
Thrawn's gonna live. He has to live. Thrawn lives.
Yeah,
Ahsoka
especially because they
lives.
killed Gideon, their one other good villain post Empire.
We have Pelion. Pelion's there.
Yeah, like he's a character.
They can make him one.
They can make him one. We know he's a character, but like he's, right now he's not anyone yet.
Yeah.
So
Where's Eli? Ooh, we gotta find Eli. Eli Vanto from the books. We gotta find him. I like
yeah,
that they gave Thrawn a bromance in the books because yeah, homie's gay. Homie's gay. Can we all agree Thrawn is gay? Thrawn's gay. He's a little gay. Um,
No, I think he's art sexual.
is that why? Maybe he'll be like,
He's like, Senator, do you fuck art? I
he's
do.
got like a space Mona Lisa. Like instead of the Mona Lisa, it's like a Twi'lek, and there's like a hole in it where the mouth should be. Oh, that's gross. Ew, ew. Who is letting me cook? Somebody needs to take away the utensils because I should
Hmm.
not be allowed to cook. Fuck. Ew. That's gross.
Nice.
That's gross. Um, but yeah, Thrawn's gay. Um, uh, Thrawn's gonna live. Ezra, I think, has to live. Sabine has to live.
What will happen to Sabine?
Live.
Okay, cool. Yeah, we gotta
Hera,
get our predictions in.
Hera might not.
Interesting.
Hera might not.
Why not?
This is as late as we see her. You know, this is
So far, but we've seen her ship.
yes, but that could have just been Jason flying it uh during the Battle of Exegol. You know, that could have just been Jason and Sabine. You know, but we don't hear Ezra. Thank fucking God, because if I had heard fucking Taylor Gray's Ezra voice in The Rise of Skywalker, I would have given it. Actually, I don't know, because that would mean that Ezra died a horrible death.
Come to
You know,
Buffalo Wild Wings.
yeah, I would have been torn. I would have been torn. If I had heard Ezra's voice, then that would mean he was dead, which is good. That is a net good for the world. But
Come to Buffalo Wild Wings.
I'll give you fucking Buffalo Wild Wings if you know what I mean. Um, but yeah, Ezra. Yeah, that's tough. That's tough. That's really tough. But I think Ezra lives. Ahsoka dies either here or in the movie. But Ezra lives through the movie, unfortunately.
Unfortunately,
Yes. So, all right.
you, we regret to inform you he lived.
Yes. I think Mando season 4, they're going to draft him to fight in the war against Thrawn. And yeah. All right, before we go to the big red button, what do you think the odds are for live action Nogri? Cuz we saw him in Rebels.
Um, that would be interesting, but I don't think it's gonna happen.
I would like
Unfortunately.
I would like to get like canon confirmation that Darth Vader, like that they're still repping good old DV. That would be cool. To yeah, that'd be kind of dope.
Yeah.
But I think overall, numero uno, I think definitely the main thing that has to happen is I think Shin has to die.
Ooh.
Balin may or may not. I think he's gonna sacrifice himself and be redeemed. Maybe he'll like turn on Shin and he'll get killed, but he'll weaken her enough to like get her killed by someone else. But Thrawn's coming back, and I think Morgan's dying as well. Um, but yeah, we're gonna be seeing some shit, and I'm very excited. It comes out tonight as you're listening to this, unless you've decided to listen to it on Patreon tonight on Monday night, very very late at night. Yeah, but ooh,
Oh yes.
I think Hera has to die. Hera has to die. That's it. There's no way. There's no way she doesn't, right?
I don't know. We'll have to see.
Yeah. Fuck, man.
To wait and see.
We're
But
it's
yes,
stressful. It's
stay
stressful.
stay tuned to the show. Shows
Yes. Yes,
It was very
absolutely.
exciting. It's some of the most like this is like a comeback for Star Wars, I feel.
I I don't
But
think it
maybe
ever
not.
left. I don't think it ever left.
Damn.
Yeah.
Well,
It didn't have a Marvel arc. It didn't have like a secret invasion type
like
show.
yeah, that was embarrassing. That was
Yeah.
so embarrassing.
Like
Huh.
it didn't have a Thor Love and Thunder or an Eternals, you know?
When that happens.
Whew. Yeah. Eternals was a big stinker. That might be the worst movie Disney's put out in quite a long time. That
Mm,
was bad. That was really bad.
hmm.
But yeah, I don't. We've even Mandalorian season 3. Even though it wasn't that great, it still had some pretty good moments. You know,
Right.
the little Andor ripoff, Keller and Beck coming back. That's all that. That was cool. But yeah, I don't know. I just yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, man.
Do you have a
Yeah.
big red button for us?
Uh, no. Haha.
I'm thinking about one. I'm thinking about it, but it's hard. It's hard to come up with these under pressure. I can feel the time ticking closer and closer every second, and I'm like, oh shit,
Will
I
you
should
press
really
it?
come up with one.
Will you press the button?
Well, I have to know what the button does. That's the whole point.
I know.
Oh, fuck. Oh, that's hard. That's hard. Shit. Um. Hmm. 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 Hmm.
Haha.
This is hard. This is really hard. I
I
feel like
like
we should.
I
We
like
should.
watching you struggle. The sound of your struggle. Ooh,
I feel like
yes.
it would be smarter if we stopped the recording until we came up with one, and
Like
then
like
started
we
it.
haven't had enough hiccups yet
Oh my
in
god,
this
we've
one
had so
recording.
many. We've had so many. I'm gonna cut out some of these in the editing process, which kind of sucks because we're cutting it kind of close. Um, but fuck, man,
Haha.
shit. It's hard. Hmm. Damn. Damn. This is hard. Um. Shit. Shit. We better come up with one. I'm gonna give us a minute left, and then we're just gonna be like, all right, we're giving up. There we go. Shit. All right, we got a minute. Here we go.
Okay. Let's do some thinking. I'm trying to go back to like the topics we had.
Um. Uh. Jimmy Buffett.
Okay, I got one.
Oh
All
God.
right.
All right.
So, you don't have to write any more of your discussions,
Okay.
but instead you have to write you have to write something for the class instead. But instead of discussions, it's a fan fiction
Oh
between Star
no.
Wars characters
Oh
starring in
no.
Ahsoka.
Oh no.
So you could save yourself from having to wait for other people to, you know, submit their discussion so you can respond to them, or you could write some lewd hot spiciness and you would save yourself the trouble.
Shit. Oh, that's bad. That's really bad. Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, like you
And
weren't simping hard enough. Now you really have to confront those.
how's the word count? How's the word count? And do I have to read it in front of the class?
You don't have to read it in front of the class.
But everyone has to see it.
Well, it's their choice to for how far they might want to go into your story. But
Okay.
you would, let's say you don't have to write as much for this fan fiction as you would for the discussions, but it's still quite quite a story you're gonna have to deliver. Let's just say at least 10 pages double spaced.
10 pages double spaced is, I think that's more than 2,000 words. I'm not sure.
But it's like the one thing you do. You don't have to make more fan fictions,
Okay.
but you
Okay.
you do have to you have to like go from front to back, and it's got to be like, real sweaty.
Oh, please don't describe anything in Star Wars as sweaty.
No,
Please don't.
please do.
The only thing I want to be described as sweaty is Thrawn after he gets up fighting those two droids in that one episode of Rebels.
Right.
That's right. I have seen Rebels, parts of it, kind of. Enough to know that it sucks big dick. Oh, that's really bad. That's really bad. Does everyone see it at least once?
Um, well, they are maybe like it's brought up to the class. It's like, hey, just so you know, Kael gets an exemption from participating in the discussion post
Okay,
because
no, you can't do that.
he will be writing a fan fiction for
You
Star
can't.
Wars characters.
You can't make it an exemption. Okay, all right. I have a way that I would do it, but we're gonna change. I'm altering the deal. Pray I don't alter it any further. Um, everyone gets out of discussions
But
because
they all have to write a fan fiction.
no, they all have to read it.
They all have to read it.
They all have to read it. They don't have to respond. They don't even have to look me in the eye. But they all have
Damn.
to read it. But no more discussion posts.
How does this improve the conditions? This
Because
seems.
because at least
You
and
think
like
you're
they know
saving
that it's
people.
me.
You
No,
think you're.
like like they know that it's me, that I am falling on this sword, that I
That
am being
you are the expert in writing this story.
no. More like
There's no other professional they would rather consult.
no. More like I'm on this cross. I'm bearing this cross for everyone else in the class. I have to do this and they have to read it, but at least they don't have to write 8 to 10,000 words over the semester. Okay? I think that would be acceptable. I would press that. There are some people I respect in that class, which is, there's not a lot. There's a few.
Yeah.
So, oh, damn. That's really rough. That's
Well,
that's a
hit,
hard choice.
I guess you press that button.
I
Now we
I
just
think under
just sit
those
back.
circumstances, yes. Would you? If you were in my position, would you press that button?
Yeah. Easily. I think it's just cuz like I don't know. I've been in this college stick long enough. I know what I'm probably going to be have more fun writing.
Yeah. All right. I
That's just me.
all right. That's pretty solid. I think
Yeah,
that's
you feel good about that, don't you?
I mean, I feel like if I was still if that was still graded, I want to graduate summa cum laude. I'm gonna have to put my whole work effort, all that type of shit in there. I'm still gonna have to put my whole pussy into that. So
Right.
fuck, man. Oh, that's hard. That's hard. That is a hard choice. You're really good at coming up with these. I feel like I
Thank you.
come up with them more often, but like when you come up with these are really tough. Shit. Cuz that would be really embarrassing. I high key, I'm proud of this show. I this is like my greatest achievement. But
Yeah.
I am a little embarrassed whenever I put this up on my public story, talking about how we're reviewing Star Wars and shit. You know, that's a little bit much.
I
But
don't know. It's a dream for me.
yeah, I mean it. No matter what, it's really cool that we're getting paid by a legit business. Liquidiv.com/use code IIHS podcast for 20% off your order, by the way.
So
Haha.
smooth.
Fuck you, Patreon subscribers. You thought you could get out of it. You thought you could avoid the ads. Fuck you. um, but yeah,
Nice
we're
one.
getting paid by a legit business that you know, actually shows up in grocery stores and shit. You
Legit.
know, like legit business to fucking talk about Star Wars and shit. That's super cool. That's really cool.
That's right.
But it's just a little embarrassing that we're to bring that up. But
Mhm.
you know what? Hey, if I'm getting graded for it, and my ass is on the line, if that's the difference between like an A plus and an A, then god damn it, I'm coming up with the juiciest
That's right.
Sabine X Shinhati fan fiction you'll ever fucking read, man.
Let's go.
50 Shades of Grey is gonna look like fucking Little Women by the time I'm done with it.
Nice.
Good
I
lord.
like that imagery.
10 pages of sultry, steamy Star Wars action. I feel dirty saying that. I want to take a cold shower. I feel wrong.
I think we could all use a cold shower
Yeah.
after
Go
that.
take a cold shower, everyone. It's 8 a.m. when this comes out on Tuesday. Go take a fucking cold shower.
Go away, clean yourself, you heathen.
Yes. Cleanse yourself. Oh, God. I think that's a good place to end it because I can't talk
Nice.
about this stuff anymore. This is kind of driving me crazy. We're up too late, and I'm gonna still have to edit this shit. Oh fuck, man.
Man's really going through it.
Oh, this sucks. This sucks. I hate it. I hate it. But that being said, if you wanna support this dumpster fire, head on over to patreon.com. Like our good friend Justin Connor. Thank you very much. He's in our supporter tier. If you want to be in the higher tier and get recognized as even cooler, and also get early access to these episodes, ad free, by the way, except for that last little bit about sometimes I still work it in there because fuck you. And also you want access to our full-length movie commentaries, including our upcoming Ahsoka ones. We're getting around to it. We were gonna. Oh, we still need to do Mortal Kombat. We're gonna try and do Mortal Kombat before that comes out. By the way, so stay tuned for that.
Stay tuned.
But yeah, head on over patreon.com/IIHS podcast, all one word. If you want to see us on social media, follow us over there. Get updates, topic suggestions, Q&A, that sort of thing. We are at IIHS Podcast on Threads, Instagram, and Twitter. Fuck you, Elon. I'm still not calling it what you want me to. I'm not even going to say it, by the way, just to not even give him the satisfaction. And then if you want to watch us on YouTube, if that's better for you, we try to get these episodes out by like 9:30 Central, which is 10:30 Eastern, which is about an hour and a half after it comes out normally. Don't hate the player, hate the game. It just takes a while from RSS to upload it over there. But yeah, we are at IIHS Podcast on YouTube there as well. So go on over and watch us over there if you feel so inclined. But other than that, I just want to say that I am Kael, and I have been incredibly influential.
And I have been Maxwell, and I have been highly successful.
You have been Maxwell, but
I have been, and I have been
will
successful.
You continue to be?
You'll have to find out.
Ooh, clickbait, cliffhanger, hell yeah. we'll we'll talk to you guys next week, and you'll see the epic conclusion
Oh,
of this new story arc, I guess. But yeah, we'll catch you guys next week. See ya.